All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. It's time for Sunday Night Charts. Hmm? Let's see if I got sound here. Sounds like we got sound. You are fast, my brother. You are fast. What's up, Gary Guadav Gupta? What's up, man? How's it going, buddy? Hey, Merle. How art thou, sir? Yeah, I know it's two live streams in a day, but one private and one public. You guys are part. This is the public pool. Yeah, we're swimming in the private pool earlier. So, gonna look at Bitcoin here, Litecoin, and Ethereum. You know, Ethereum's looking the best for me. Watch from the car. All right, man. Welcome, Joseph. Glad you're here, buddy. Glad you are here. See who shows up tonight. I'm gonna put a lot. I'm gonna put a link to the stream here. Um, see if I can find it here. Put a link in the chat. There we go. Here. Put a link in the chat. There we go. There it be. There she be. Oh, there you found me. All right, Sandra. How are you? I would like to start with Ethereum tonight, and I know you Litecoin people like what's going on with that. What's up with that? I think Ethereum might tell the tale. Okay, so if Ethereum's telling the tale, guys, we we've got some up, I think. But we're playing around the line here, so it's actually a good place in the chart to get in a position. But want to make sure that we get in the right position. So kind of stalling for everybody to kind of get in. There's 15 of you here. Welcome. If you're here, chime in. Let me know who you are and where you're from. If you're watching, that'd be awesome. And if this is your first time watching a live stream, let me know that too. I'd love to hear from you. Usually we get about, I don't know, anywhere from 50 to 70 people joining by the end of it. But hopefully you guys enjoy what you hear and feel free to ask all the questions you want. Looks like it's probably just home folk right now. Alphabit.com. Hello from Ecuador. What's up, man? I live in misery, guys. If you don't know that, that's what I say all the time. I live in misery, Missouri. Great Lakes State. Nice. Hola. Um, so you're in Michigan? Where from, Craig? I think we talked about this before, but I've got friends in Zeeland and Holland, Michigan. Where are you, sir? All right, 20 of you in there. Awesome. Cool. Max, are you already working on a Monday morning? Or Monday, is it Monday afternoon? East Lansing. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're on Lake Superior. So I think it's Lake Superior. Pretty sure. Pretty cool. I've been there. Venezuela. Wow. Awesome. Got Ecuador and Malaysia. Wow. That's awesome. People from all over the world. Isn't that cool? Bitcoin bringing us all together. That's pretty neat. Do I trade all this chop? I try to. Todd, I try to. I try to. No, I haven't been getting in and out of positions. I actually have been in a position in Bitcoin since $9,600 short, and I've stayed in it. Kenya, wow. Dansmad. Now, I have been to Africa once. I went to not Nigeria, Uganda. I've been to Kampala, Uganda, and I did. It was a mission trip. I was there visiting, and what we did is we stationed in Kampala, and we would drive for about 4 to 5 hours every day to a village out to villages outside of Kampala, and we would preach and teach the Bible. Talk about Jesus Christ, and that was a pretty excellent experience. I tell you what, I've uh, never met such kind people than those in Africa. I tell you, it's pretty cool. Um, it's they know how to greet you. It's amazing. It is a life changing experience for me. So let's see, Venezuela. Nice. Okay. Well, it's 24 of you here. I think it's time to start. What I thought I'd do is I want to go through the charts with you. I want to show you the setups that I'm looking at. So I'm going to do a little talking to you for a little while, and just I want to show you what I'm seeing, and move from there. Okay. Now, um, we're going to start with Ethereum, because Ethereum to me is the nicest chart on the block right now. Okay. So. Hmm. Okay. Here we go. On every chart on the macro, guys, if you've been watching my videos, and by the way, if this is your first time, let me know in the chat. If you're first time, or you haven't been a subscriber long, or if you've been a subscriber, just let me know where you are in your journey with Jim of All Trades. Just let me know what you're doing. By the way, guys, my plan, those of you, especially in the Patreon, who are supporting me, my plan is to take, Lord willing, to take January off and to start trading full time in January. It may be one of the worst times in the world. The market isn't great to trade in January, so we'll have to see. It's a pretty difficult time to trade the market, but I'll have to prove myself during a difficult time. But anyway. Maybe in Bitcoin it won't be so bad, but in the Forex it's not so great. So anyway, I'm going to be working on that, and yeah, so we're going to try to go in January. I'm at least going to put business off. I'm not going to quit the business. I'm just going to put it off for a month and see how we do. Do a little bit of a test run before we um, uh, go full time, like forever until when I stop. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that to you guys. Thank you guys for your support in Patreon. It's really a blessing. I really really appreciate it. All right, so in every chart, this is the formation I'm seeing. Okay, we're in the 2 hour chart right here. This is from the top coming down. And we are in Ethereum. The reason I'm in Ethereum is because the chart looks the cleanest for right now. What we see right here, guys, is an expanded flat formation. Okay, that's an expanded flat, or it's a flat formation, one of the two. You basically, a flat is like this. You've got a three wave, and a 5 wave move. Okay, and that's exactly what we have here. We've got a 3 wave here, a 3 wave here, and then we've got a 5 wave move to the upside, and all the charts have that. Now, um, all the charts have that flat. Now, I want to show you on the smaller time frame what happens after a flat. Okay, after a flat correction, guys, what happens is, okay, so basically price is coming down, and then you get a correction that comes to the upside in one wave, comes down, okay, bottoms out near the origin of that wave, and then it goes up really fast. Okay, that last wave is really impulsive. Okay, and there's a flat, but see, that's a corrective wave, that's a corrective structure. So as this comes down, this is the correction, and then the down continues. All right, that's what I believe is happening here. I think we've got a flat correction, and the down is going to continue. That is my bias. That is bird's eye view here of the market. That's what I think is happening. Okay, so with that being said, this push to the upside, this huge move that we had recently, I do not believe was a reversal in trend. Okay, and I want to show you that in the charts where we've had other expanded flats. And then I'll show you where it wasn't a reversal in the trend. Okay, so let's go to Bitcoin, for instance, first off, and I just want to make this case here. I'm on the 1 minute chart in Bitcoin. Just for a minute, let me go out to the 1 hour. There we go. Clear off the fibs here for a minute. All right. All right. Let me show you where we had another expanded flat. Right here, we had an expanded flat structure. That's a corrective structure, and then we continue down. Okay. Here's an expanded flat structure, and then we continued. We came down. Now we haven't made a lower low beyond that yet, so I'm expecting that to come. But it wasn't it hasn't really changed the trend quite yet. Okay, let me go back in Bitcoin for you, show you a couple more in the larger time frames. Okay, here's a very, very macro expanded flat. Got a three-wave structure, five-wave structure. Okay, it's a corrective move. Okay, and then the trend continues. So trend came down, corrective move, continued down. What I'm trying to show you is that after you get an expanded flat, guys, you get more. The trend continues. Now the difficulty here is that this was such a powerful move to the upside. Okay, that's a difficulty with Bitcoin's move, but it's still my belief that this is an expanded flat. Okay, that's my belief, and then the trend is going to continue down. Now, how this trend comes down, I mean, it could do that stuff. Okay, so understand that how it comes down, I can't be certain. We're tracking it every day, right? We're tracking the wave every day. And so I've been tracking this wave and calling different plays here along the way, and we've done it's been really hard, to be honest with you. It's been very hard. I've it's kind of like I've been a step behind. I've not like been a half step behind this. I've seen where it's going, but finding an entry and finding exits have been very difficult for me to trade this in particular. So that's been the difficult portion of this. So whoa, Merle. Well, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Just lost my, let's see, live chat. There it is. Well, Merle, that's an amazing gift. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Brentley, for hitting the like button. Appreciate it. What's up, Ivan? How's it going, buddy? All right, I'll just keep going. I don't want to get caught up in the chat too much here. Though I want to chat with you guys, but I don't want to get too distracted here. All right, so anyway, that's my bias. That's what I'm looking at. So let's go back to Ethereum here in just a minute. What I'm seeing here on the smaller time frame is we've got a definite. This to me is a five-wave move off the high. So it makes a difference what kind of move that is, whether it's a three-wave move or a five-wave move. It appears to be a five-wave move. It could be a diagonal of sorts. All of the charts have done something like this. Okay, it's been kind of diagonalish. Okay, it's been a sharp move to the downside, and then all of the charts have been followed by this three-wave structure to follow it. Let me see here. I found a new tool, guys, that I really like. Need to get it on my chart here. Boom. Here it is. Nice and clean lines. There we go. So we had a nice move, a three-wave move following it. Now the question is, what do we have here? Let me show you what I think we have. What I believe we have is a five-wave structure right here, 5 waves, followed by an expanded flat. Let me show you what I see. I believe this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a nice motive wave. It's a 5-wave structure. Then what I see after that, following it, is a 3-wave move. It is an expanded flat. It comes here. It comes to the, this one comes to the 1276 extension. I could show you. This whole move was a corrective move. Came between the 1-to-1 and the 127 extension. So there's a nice corrective move there. So we've got a 5-wave impulse with a 3-wave correction. All right, class. Here's the problem. Here's the difficulty that Ethereum's giving me right now. If that's a 5-wave move, the question is, what is it connected to? Okay, is it connected to this structure here, or is it connected to this structure here? What do you mean, Jim? Well, is this? Come on. 5, a 3, and now we have a truncated 5, and that's the end of that move. And then we're doing something to go up, okay? Or, which I don't think that's the case, but that's what I mean. Or is this 5, a 3, and now we're going to get 5 waves to the downside? Now, if we get 5 corrective waves to the downside, that means we would be coming to this region right here. 786, 1-to-1 extension, 276. Now, here's the difficulty, and this is what's making the chart hard right now. I'm pretty certain that's a 5-wave move, but it could be a 3-wave move. It makes a difference. If it's a 3-wave move and then followed by a 3-wave move, we're going to get a 3-wave move to the downside. And that would be a WXY to the downside. And the entire structure would be a WX and a Y. And that would be corrective, guys, and we'd be going up to the moon after that. That makes a difference. But if this is a 5-wave impulse, okay, and then we follow by a 3-wave, then we have to ask the question, what is this next wave right here? What is that? So that's what we need to zoom in, because whatever that is going to give us a clue for where Bitcoin's going to go, because they're all going to go the same direction pretty much. So if you can figure out if one of them's clearer than the other, this is the way I'm operating. If one of them's clearer than the other, then it might give us a clue and say, yeah, that's pretty clear. It's pretty clear which way it's going. We can figure out, what it's doing. So let's zoom in now to the 15-minute chart. And let's analyze Ethereum here in this last wave. Just think about it together. Here's my problem. This wave right here is corrective. It's not impulsive. We've got a three-wave flat here. And then we've got a corrective wave that follows it. So the direction of this wave is up. The direction of the next wave is down. We should expect the next wave to go up. That's what I believe is going to happen tonight and tomorrow. That's what I believe is happening. So I think the next play of all the coins, I believe, is an up move. Okay? Now where do I think it's going? Ethereum's going to 187 to 189. That's what I think. That would be a 5-wave move and then a 3-wave correction. It would be complex, but it would be a 3-wave correction to the upside. 189 to 187. That's what I think. Let me show you why this is a corrective wave here. You say, Jim, how do you know if it's corrective or impulsive? Let me explain. An impulse, if you've been learning with me on Thursday nights, needs a 5-wave, needs 5 waves, okay? It needs 5 waves. One might say, well, Jim, there's 5 waves being formed right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not one more be 5? Possible. That is possible. That is a possibility. But here's the problem. This wave right here, is not extended longer than this wave. The relationship between the first wave and the third wave is not extended enough to be an impulse wave. Okay? How do you tell that? Well, you use the trend-based fib extension tool. You measure that first wave, click where that third wave starts, and it doesn't reach the 1618. It almost reaches it, but it doesn't reach it. So it's not very extended. That means it's more of a corrective type wave. Okay? The second problem I have with it is that if you're calling this the fourth wave, who knows the problem with this wave right here? If the top of this fourth wave has come into the top of this first wave, who knows the problem with that? What's up, JM and Adam and Libasak? I'm not sure how to say that, how to break that up. Yep. The problem is that the fourth wave cannot extend into the territory of the one wave. A rule of our impulse waves is that the fourth wave cannot come up into the region of the first wave. If it does, that's not a four wave. It must remain outside of the region of the first wave. Okay, it's got to stay below it. So this third wave needs to be extended to about the 1618 in general, not always, but in general. And the fourth wave cannot retrace into the region of the first wave. The only way that can happen is you have a diagonal, and this is not a diagonal. A diagonal looks like this. Diagonal looks like this. That's what a diagonal looks like. Okay? So that tells me the nature of this wave is corrective and not impulsive. And that means if it's a corrective wave to the downside, we should expect another wave to the upside. Now, we started this upside with a 3-wave move to the up, 3-wave move to the down. I'm expecting a 3-wave move to the upside. That's what I'm expecting. So I'm looking for something like this. There's the first move, second move, third move. And I'm expecting that guy to come to around 187 to 189. So those are my targets for Ethereum. After that, I am expecting a sharp move to the downside. Big time. Okay? Now this move right here is going to be made up of 3 waves, okay? So this needs to come up. It's not going to come straight up, okay? It's going to come up in 3 waves. It must. If my count is correct, it must come up in 3 waves. Like that. Some 3-wave shape. It must do it. Okay? Yes. Good job. I love that comment, man. That's so funny. So funny. So funny. There's 50 of you here. Welcome. Y'all welcome. Okay, so that's the evidence I'm seeing in Ethereum that the next move is going to be a 3-wave move to the upside. That's going to take. Let's see. It's going to go into It's going to go into tomorrow morning, and into the 5th. So it's probably going to take us the next 2 or 3 days to get up there and finish that move, I would guess. based on the dates down here and the way I've drawn this and the symmetry and everything. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Now, could I be wrong? Yes, I could be wrong for sure. I could definitely be wrong. So always be prepared for me to be wrong. Now let me show you um, what it would. I don't think I'm wrong for the reasons I just shared. But keep in mind we're playing around on this line right here. If we break this line to the downside, guys, it could be on like Donkey Kong. Okay. Now let me talk about maybe another way here we can look at this. Let me see if there's another way. I always want to challenge myself. Okay, is there another way to look at that chart? Three-wave move, that's done. Now this could be three waves. Could get a smaller three waves, and then another three waves down. And that would mean that this has to be three waves, and then three waves. So the only way this could go down from here, guys, is this. That this move right here is as a W three wave. That's an X three wave, and now we need a Y three wave. So I guess this is a possibility. Oh, no. Let's try again. That's a W, X, Y, and then we got three waves back, and there we go. That's the only other way I can see it. That this would be a larger WXY then, and the Y wave would be made of a WXY. And if that's the case, yeah, if that's the case, we would have a larger WXY. So that is my other count. That's another count. So there you go. Now, with that being said, I think regardless, we got a little bit of upside. Now, whether that upside for Ethereum is an internal retracement of this wave, internal meaning it won't surpass the top of this wave, or it's going to be a large retracement that comes up here to those targets that I shared before it comes down. Which one will it be? I don't know. But that's the alternate. So let's look at Bitcoin and see what's going on. First off, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin and let's look at the triangle. I guy in the house, and I just did Ethereum, my man. I started with it. So there you go, buddy. What time frame? Sandra, what are you saying? I don't often, do me a favor. When you type a question, I don't often see the question until after. And so you're asking a question that's related to something I just said, but I don't often have the timing right. And there's a lag between you and me, about 30 seconds. So if you could do me a favor and be more specific with your questions. Uh, yeah, no problem, Andy. Glad to do it, man. Glad to do it. And Meyer, thanks. What's up, man? What's up, my friend? How are you doing over there in New York? Okay. Now let's look at. Um, yeah, I saw. I see Joseph. I think you're okay for now. But keep in mind we're right around your entry, so as soon as you're uncomfortable. But any kind of up move, I think is going to be small. Let's look at Bitcoin, and let me show you what I'm seeing here. So I believe that Bitcoin here, this is This is a WXYX. We just had the X wave. This whole 3 wave right here was an X wave, and now we're going to get the Z wave. And I think we're beginning, that Z wave. I'm just looking at that and saying, is there any way that's going to become a diagonal? Can this become a diagonal? Nah, nope, no. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right, so here's what we're looking at for Bitcoin here. So same move. Okay, I'm believing this is not a reversal, that we're not going to continue to the moon, but actually I think we're going down. But I'm ready for me to be wrong. I'm ready to. So that's why I don't just trade the large time frames. I mean, that's what I believe in the large time frame, but that's why I analyze day to day what the market's doing. And so because the daily the market tells me where it's going. And so if it's going in a direction that is anti what I'm thinking, then I can alter my opinion, from a day to day. So that's why it's beneficial for me to look at the micro count every day with you. It's beneficial for me. It's beneficial for you. Yeah. So let's look at the micro count and see what's going on here. 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Look at that junk. Who can interpret that? I hope I can. By the Lord's help, I hope I can. All right. What could that be? I've got 2 ideas personally right now. I had 3 ideas, but I personally believe Iman doesn't think so, but we haven't talked about it. But he's still looking at the flat idea uh, on Elliott Wave Crypto channel. He's still looking at the flat idea. And the flat is like this. So that's the idea. Come on. I'm still getting used to this tool. Okay, so there's a flat. So you got a 5 wave structure here, some kind of 5 wave there, diagonal or something like that. Then we got a 3 wave B wave. So that's an A wave, a B wave, and now we're going to get a C wave. But we got to get this. We got to get this finished. So this flat is actually a big WXY. Okay, so that's actually what that is. W X, and now Y. And Y has to come up in 3 waves. And here's why I don't like it. And this is why I've personally invalidated it as it's probably not going to happen. I'm having a really hard time seeing how these 3 waves are going to be made. Generally, you can see the 3 waves pretty simply. Okay, there's 3 waves right there. Okay, there's three. Sorry. There's difference of opinion about how these 3 waves are made, but here's my 3 waves on this chart right here in this section. This is ABC right here up to there. And so this is the first 3 waves, X. It's really hard. Let me do it with this tool. The first 3 waves, second 3 waves to the downside. It's I am trying. I'm having a hard time with that tool. Okay. So there's 3 waves right there. There's another 3 waves right here. Now, how do we get 3 waves out of this? You say, well, here's one. Okay. And if that's 1, 2, and we're getting 3, it's got to get up here. But we've come down here. And this didn't even break the high of here. So it needs to do this. I was expecting it to do this, then that, and then that. That's what I was looking for. So I was looking for something like this. But we didn't break the high here. And then we're coming down in kind of 5 waves and not 3 waves here. So I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm having a hard time seeing it as 3 waves to get up here, to get up there. Because this flat, it really needs to get on up there. Right there. It needs to get up here to 99.82 to 10,264. It needs to get up there. Okay? And it really needs to do it in 3 waves on this Y wave. So personally, I'm not seeing that. So I am not leaning into that count, and that's why. Yeah, that's not this right here. I have proven this. I proved it the other night. I know you see 5 waves there. Um, it's not impulsive. Let me show you. If you guys can take a minute with me, I did it. I did it in our class Thursday night. I went through this wave with everybody and showed everybody how it wasn't an impulse. So let me see if I can show it to you. So this wave right here, W. Okay. The problem you have with that being an impulse is that there's not 5 waves there. You say, Jim, yes there is. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. There's an impulse. Okay. You say, no, 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 that's not an impulse because let's put the 3 up here. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Still a problem. There's no subdivision of 5 waves in the third wave. Okay, in both of those counts, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 wave overlaps the 1 wave, and that's not a diagonal. Okay, that's not a diagonal. All right. If you bring the 3 up here, the 4 wave overlaps the 1 wave in the third wave subcount, and it doesn't work. So let me show you the 3 subdivisions we're seeing. We've got an impulse there, 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves. That's a 5, 3, and a 5 correction. Now, let's look and see what it measures. It measures to the 1-to-1 extension. That's a corrective level. So that's a 3-wave corrective wave. Okay. Then we've got this wave to the downside, this X wave here, and then so let's just ignore that wave just for now. And let's look at this 3-wave structure right here. Boom, boom. And this comes to the 786, okay? But it's a 3-wave structure, okay? Right there. And so what you have here is a zigzag with an X wave right here, and then another zigzag. That's a double zigzag. That's a WXY there. So that's not 5 waves, that's 3 waves. It's a WXY in there. That is how I break that wave down. Does that help? Hope it helps. Okay, now, guys, Elliott wave is not subjective. The only thing Elliott wave is subjective to is yours and my ability to apply the rules and apply the wave measurements and to really see the connections between the waves. In that sense, it's subjective, but the waves are what they are. Okay, and if we can just spend enough time looking at the relationship between the waves, you'll begin to understand it. Okay, it's just really hard as it's being formed. It's a real skill. It's a real art. I mean, and I'm not trying to tell you I'm an artist at some level. I'm really trying to on a daily basis break this down for you guys so we can begin to build account and have some idea where price is going. And it's a pretty good, reliable source, okay? So those of you, if you're new to Elliott Wave, I know you're trying to learn it, and it's hard to learn. Don't get me wrong, it is hard to learn. But once you begin to learn it, you're going to understand that it is reliable, it is a good source, and you can trade by it. Iman is really good at showing you that the count doesn't matter, and this is what his videos are good for. The count doesn't matter so much as you have to understand the setups. And once you understand the setups, you can make money. in the market. You don't have to know the count, but you can make money. And so that's what we're going to eventually get to here in just a minute. There's 56 of you here. Welcome, guys. Glad y'all are here. If this is your first time, let me know. I'd like to know in the chat if this is one of your first times seeing me or how long you've been watching me. So, I'm just curious, just to see what kind of demographic we have. All right. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to kind of keep trudging through this wave here, guys, with you, and so we can figure it out. All right, we're going to talk about potential triangle scenario. Okay, we got 5 waves. We got 3 waves here. Okay, now the one of the hard things here is that I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's 3 waves. I know it's not 5 waves. That is not a 5-wave structure. I'm certain of that. So what I try to do when I'm trying to figure out a particular wave is I try to break down each piece one by one. Okay? Now, here's the first thing that I see. The first thing that I see is a 5-wave impulse right here. And I have broken this down several times. Okay? I believe this is a 5-wave impulse. And this is how to count it. We got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got a 3-wave pullback. And then we've got a 5-wave impulse to the downside. Okay? That's one way to count it. Another way to count it is that the 5 waves ended right here. Okay? And then what we have to follow that 5-wave impulse right there is, can you guess? An A, a B, and a C, and that's an expanded flat. All right. I'm not counting it that way. I'm counting it this way. The reason I'm counting it that way is because that's 5 waves and not 3 waves. It needs to be a 3, 3, and a 5. So that's 5 waves to me. And that looks impulsive. It measures impulsively. That to me is 5 waves. It can be debated. And hey, Delta Bro, glad you're here. Okay? Thanks for letting me know. Glad you're a subscriber as well. So glad you... Nice, Aries. Glad you're here. I'm sorry you're you're losing, but we're gonna win now. And thanks for sharing so much Elliott Wave process. I've learned. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope you guys are okay with the thinking out loud. I wake up in the mornings. I look at the chart. And I'm like, I turn on the recorder and I just start thinking out loud, so you can understand the thought process. That to me, it's called metacognition. It's thinking about thinking. And so, that's really, really helpful to just learning. And so I just do a lot of it. Okay, so there's 5 waves. That's a 5-wave impulse. I'm gonna make that conclusion. Now, here's the thing. Here's where Elliott Wave. We got to understand that conclusion could be wrong, but I say that's an impulse. 5 waves. But am I right? I'm gonna assume I'm right for now. If I'm right, what happens next? That's the next thing I do. Well, what I see next is I see a 3-wave right here, okay? A 3-wave followed by a 3-wave and then this straight up thing. And if you look at the shape of it, and I've drawn it a couple of times already tonight, who knows of you guys that have been watching, who knows what shape this is? I've labeled it for you, ABC. Who knows what shape that is? Oh. That's a flat. Sherlock Holmesy in the house. That's right. What kind of flat is it, my brother? It's expanded and it's running. Nice job, Aries. Nice. That's expanded and running. Nice job. That's an expanded running flat. That's right. That's what I believe that is. That's a 3-wave followed by a 3-wave followed by a 5-wave. And that C is below the A and the B is below the origin of the A. So rock on. Well done. That's an expanded running flat. But that to me is a 5-wave and then a 3-wave. Now, what comes next? I think we have a 5-wave here. I don't know how to count it. It's really, really challenging, but it looks a lot like a 5-wave. If that's a 5-wave and then a 3-wave, I think this is a 5-wave move. Okay, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's the way you would count it. Okay, now, so there's a 5-wave move. That's a 5, 3, 5. Now, what comes next? Now, the question is, do these go together? Maybe. Maybe not. What comes next after this 5-wave impulse? I'm seeing the shape again. Look at the shape I'm seeing. Three, excuse me, 3 waves, followed by 3 waves, followed by 5 waves. It's a 3, 3, 5. Who knows what that is? Who knows what that is? Can James? When we say expanded running, I mean, I'm just describing the nature of the B and the C. Um, all right. So is a running? I thought my understanding is that a running flat. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just remembered that wrong. But my understanding is that a running flat just had a truncated C. But if the B is lower than the origin of A, then always, then that's a running flat. Sure. Okay. So anyway, running flat here, 5-wave move. We got an. I think this is another flat right here. I believe. I believe that's a running flat. I've measured it. Measures to the. I've done this so many times. I can't remember. Just working back to 1618. Um, so I think we've got a 5-wave move, a 3-wave move. There's 5 waves. There's 3 waves in there. I'm just putting together what I see here. That's all I am. Okay. Now this is where it gets really, really hard. I don't know what this wave is right here. I don't know what that wave is right there. It's kind of hard because Coinbase had a problem here, is lacking data because they shut down. I remember I was like, "What's going on my phone?" It wouldn't work, and so yeah, Coinbase had a problem right there. Um, so you might interpret that as a 5-wave. It could be a 3-wave. I'm gonna leave that wave alone for a minute because I don't know what it is yet. And so I want to go to the next wave and show you what I'm seeing in the next wave. So we're just going to hold off on that just for a minute. Okay. The next wave I see is, if I throw the fibs on here, it comes to the 1276. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. It's a 3-wave structure. It tops out right here. So there's a 3-wave move right there. So that's a corrective move to me. So now off of that corrective move, this is a corrective to the upside. What do we have here? Okay, what do we have here? And so that brings us to our final wave, excluding this one for now because I'm not sure what that is, whether that's a 5. It could be a 5-wave, a small 5-wave, and this is a 2, like a 1-2 or an AB. Okay. So let's talk about what I'm seeing here. The first thing that pops into my head right here when I look at this is a diagonal shape. It's the first thing I see in this wave. Now I counted this morning, and I'm going to expand it just a little bit so we can see where the diagonal is. I believe the diagonal is actually right here. Again, this is the diagonal's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we go to the smaller time frames, I believe there's 3 waves in all of those. The only one that's difficult, I think, is this first one right here to see it because there's a bunch of wicks there. So that's questionable. But the reason I stop it there is because this wave right here does come below this one, but this wave, so if I counted it in such a way that I made this the fifth wave, this doesn't come below this third wave, and I believe, James, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's a rule for a diagonal. So for me, that's the diagonal, if it's a diagonal at all. It's either a three wave move or it's a diagonal, one of the two. Hard to tell there. But what I see next is a three wave move. Boom, 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 right there. And that brings me to the 127 extension. That's a corrective move. So we got maybe a diagonal there with a corrective move to follow it. Okay, now let's take the extension off of the top of that and see what we get. I already did this earlier, but just doing it now. I'm going to clear this off so I can see where to put my fibs. Take the extension off the top here. What we have here is an impulsive structure to me that came down to the 2618. I don't think it's finished. I actually think it's going to finish, maybe. It could be done, but I don't think it's done. Here's what I think. This is a one wave. That's a two wave. I think all of that is three. Okay, and it came down to the 2618. Actually, sorry, let me try that again. I think this is a one wave. I could be wrong, but this is two. I think this is three right here. And then this is an expanded flat four wave. And we're going to get a five wave. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. What's up? I don't know. It's in maybe my laptop bag. Maybe. Maybe that's the case. Now I'm going to show you what I'm thinking along those lines, if that's the case. So I'm looking for a move down here, I believe. I believe it's going to come down here. This looks very much like an expanded flat. Measuring it. It's a little deep. A little deep. Wicks past the 1618. They can go to the 2618. I've read, though they're rare, I have read that. Let me see here. It's got the shape of one. I don't see five waves here, and if that's five waves, it's an expanding diagonal, and I'm not even sure if they exist. I think I read that somewhere. Could be some kind of expanding five wave. Okay. So I have a hard time seeing that as five waves. It looks more corrective to me. But a challenging wave nonetheless. Comes down to a 1276 extension of that particular wave. So yeah, that's a pretty challenging wave there. So I believe this is an expanded flat four wave, and I think we're coming down for the fifth wave. Let's go to the 2-minute time frame to look at this wave right here. See what that's forming. Okay. First thing I want to check is my four wave. Make sure it hasn't surpassed the one. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're coming down for a 5. Do I like that? Comes to the tags, the 1618. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like we're coming down for a fifth wave. That's what I like to see. That's 1, 2, 3. There's a corrective wave. 5, 3, 5. I'm sure the Thanks for that, James. Appreciate it. Got to have you around as my rule book, man. I All right. Appreciate that about you, buddy. And thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. We're always learning and growing, all of us. Now, so with all of that, the only wave that I'm super uncertain about is this wave right here. Let's just kind of zoom back out now. Say, okay, what do we got? I've got a big hodgepodge of mess here. I'm going to clear it off. I'm just going to clear my drawing tools here and tell you what I think I'm seeing. We got a bunch. We got a 5-wave move, and then a 3-wave move. We got this 5-wave and then a 3-wave. It is possible, and this isn't my favorite count, but I'm operating on it, that this is a 1-2-1-2 potentially. But the only problem is what follows it. I don't like it as much. I would have rather seen it come on down, but it didn't. So I'm not leaning to it right now. I'm leaning more towards an upside move, like in a triangle or something. But I'll show you. I mean, there's this off chance that we have some kind of a 1-2-1-2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now, if that's a 5-wave, that's a 1, a 2, and we're about to start getting a dump here soon, guys. That this wave right here is like the first wave of this of just a giant wave, but it's just so many 1-2-1-2s. I don't know what to make of that. So I mean, it can happen. You can get a lot of 1-2-1-2-1-2s. So that's something I'm considering, but it needs to come on down tonight. Okay, in my opinion, it needs to start coming on down. So if we finish out this 5-wave, get a pullback, and then it dumps, that's in my mind is okay, maybe. So I want to keep that in mind. So a dump is possible if that's a bunch of 1-2-1-2-1-2s. Let's talk about my triangle scenario. Now, in order for the triangle scenario to work, in my opinion, this is what it has to be. That this wave right here is a 3-wave move that ends right there. That's got to be some kind of a 3-wave move that ends right there, and not here, but there. That's not an expanded flat, but rather this is a 1-wave of a reversal and trend. Okay? Now here's my problem with that. We didn't make another high, and so I would have liked to have seen this make another high, so for that to be a 1, 2, and then a 3, or an A, B, and a C, whatever. But this is a 3-wave move. That's a corrective structure. So that only leaves me to believe that if this is a 5-wave move, guys, this has to be a 3-wave move. This has to be a 3-wave move, and this is going to be a 5-wave move, which means we would have a 3, 3, 5 in this B wave here. So in other words, we got this flat working right here, looking like this. And so what that would be then is some kind of A, B, C. And we need 5-wave. Once this finishes, we need 5 waves off. 5 waves to come on up. It'll be a 5, a 3, and a 5. And what that could be in the grand scheme of things is a 3-wave of a triangle, maybe. Again, just considering options here. Thinking out loud. I would like this not to touch that line again. I would like that not to touch. I would like the touch to be here and here, but not here. It can come close, but I don't want it to touch. And what this would be, the triangle would start right here. Not up here, but right here. And this would be maybe A, B, all of that weird stuff going on right here is C, maybe a D, and then an E. And what that would be, potentially, is an A, a B, and a C wave. That would give us a night, a complex. I mean, give us it'd eat up a bunch of time, and give us a three-wave move. And this would be a one wave followed by a two wave, and then we'd be off to the moon. So that's a bull. That's actually a bull count. That from this structure, I could possibly get up here to a triangle. I'm having a hard time getting up to that flat idea that people have. I'm having a hard time getting that. I see that the triangle as a more likely candidate. All right, there's my presentation to you. That's what I am seeing. Yeah. The Jim and James Show. The James and James Show. Kramer and Kramer. It better be huge. Huge. It's going to be billions and billions of dollars. Billions and billions and billions and billions. Have y'all seen that the Trump video where they just they clip together a bunch of his billions and billions? A guy in our Mickey Momo showed that to us in our trading group. It is so funny. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions. It's pretty funny. All right, 49 of you are still hanging in there after that long presentation there. That is the presentation of my count based upon the current structure. So I see two options right now. I see dumpage tonight or tomorrow morning or tomorrow sometime. Major dumpage, guys. And listen, if this is a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, a bunch of 1-2s, guys, we're going to make new lows. We're going down here. Okay? It's going to be pretty, the best I can tell, it's going to be a pretty deep wave. Okay? It would look something like this. I just don't like how shallow this 2 is, but it's possible. Actually, that needs to be, could be this. That needs to actually be 3 waves, because this would be a Z wave, most likely. And if that's the case, then it needs to be 3 waves. Boom, boom, boom. Come down here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Something like that. That gets us down to the $6,000 region. But, yeah, this would be a 5, 3, and then we got to have 5 waves here. See what that 5 waves look like if it is a 1-2, 1-2. Not my primary thinking anymore. I was considering it, but I suppose it's possible. If it's a 1-2, 1-2. This would be basically an A, B, and a C, possibly. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty low. It's pretty low. But that would be a 5 wave. We would then be looking for a 3 wave, and then we'd be looking for another 5 wave. Or another 3 wave, sorry. Because this is actually part of a 3 wave. 3 wave, and then a 3 wave. And that would be our Z wave in the overall count on the large scale. All right, there you go. That's what I got. That's what I've got. How low? Low. How low can you go? How low can you go? I don't know. In the $6,000 region eventually, but we'll probably have a bounce here down here first in the 7,000s. 78, 78, 94, 79. I mean, that seems. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A triangle to me seems more likely based on this wave structure. A triangle seems more likely. If it's a triangle, then what we've got here is something like we'll do A, B over here. Well, it'll take a while to finish the B, but then we'll finally come down here to about what $8,400, 88,000. Just depends on where that thing ends. But it'll be a nice A, B, C, and then we can go to the upside. So I don't know. That's the best I can tell, guys. Best I can tell. Been certainly a tricky count for sure. I will check ZEC in a little bit. Pretty bearish. Maybe the market is not ready for bull. Well, here's the deal. Um, let's talk about that for a minute. Why am I only looking to the downside right now? Well, for me, the wave structure is telling me down. Okay, and you might say, "Hey Jim, when does the wave structure tell you up?" Well, this tells me up potentially, except that it's part of an expanded flat, and so this C wave is actually, if that's an expanded flat, then this is actually telling me down. That big up wave is actually telling me down. Um, just depends on how you connect this wave. If this is the beginning of a new trend and this was just the end of the trend, then this is saying up. But what we want to see is an impulse. I want to see an impulse wave to the upside on all time frames. Okay, on all time frames. Okay, so we got this giant impulse wave. If it's going to be bullish, we need a three-wave pullback, some kind of a three-wave move to the downside. Now, who knows how low it'll come? Okay, I've been talking $8,700 for a while, but for now the wave structure is just not with this last move that we just had. The wave structure isn't supporting it that greatly. That we would have a move this shallow. We either come back up here and create that flat, which I'm not digging into, or we come and do a triangle here in the middle or something. But this wave structure is very odd, very 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 odd. Okay, but we need a three-wave move, and once we get that three-wave move, we need to expect after that three-wave move a five-wave impulse again. I want to see an impulse. This wave right here is going to be a five-wave move. Now here's something really cool. This wave is going to be divided by, if it's going to be an impulse, it's going to be divided by a five-wave impulse. So we're going to get a really, really big move again. And then we're going to get a pullback. And then it's going to go on. Huge. I mean, really big. Okay? So what you've got to understand is that, we had a five-wave impulse. If this is a bull count, then we're getting our three-wave pullback. Okay? Now this is a very odd shape. It's in the middle of something, and once it finishes, it'll be like, oh, that's what it was making, and it'll be all clear. For me right now, I see a very strong possibility for a downside move. You can just see that, can't you? You can just see that structure. And that could be A, B, and C, or it could be a WXY. WX and then Y three-wave move to the downside. Could be. Really, really tough structure. I'm just doing my very best to interpret it based on what we've been given. Okay. Man, you missed everything, Josh. Everything. Don't let me forget, Adam. ZEC, I won't forget. Okay. Let's look at the small time frame now and do our final analysis on Bitcoin as far as what's happening in the current structure. What I'm seeing here is an expanded flat, and then as a four wave. One, two, three, four. We're going to get a five wave move to the downside. It's going to retest the $9,000 region. Maybe. It may only retest this low right here. The way this is looking. Now, if this goes up from here, guys, then we're going to have to reconsider something. If this breaks the plane of this one right here, and let me put a line of death here. If this wave breaks this plane right here, then we're not dealing with a 1, 2, 3, 4. We're dealing with something else. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 for now, and then we come down for 5. But how would that fit within the grand scheme of what we've got going on here? It would be kind of a truncated fifth wave or something. So that seems out of place as well. I'm having a hard time placing it. I wanted to see this more impulsively coming down. I wanted to see more impulse coming down. More straight more straight down stuff, but it's really coming down kind of slow and methodically. But this came down pretty impulsively. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that could be done. And this could be a one wave followed by a two wave. But that's kind of an impulse itself to some degree. 1, 2. I see 5 waves in there. It only tags the 16618. Could maybe see that as a ABC, and that this is a 1, 2. I don't like it because this is no. It can't be a 1, 2 because this is 1, 2, 3. That can't be a 4 unless this is some kind of diagonal, but it's not making the shape of a diagonal. I'd like to just see this come on down. But it's not looking like it. I mean, it needs to come on down. Whoa, Ryan. Thank you, buddy. Very kind, man. Appreciate you stopping by, and thank you, man, for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Yes, let's look at XRP. Let's look at ZEC. I need to look at LTC. Got a lot of LTC. LTC is priority. Let's look at LTC first. I know. Don't be mad at me. You can always come back and watch it later, but let's look at LTC. Let's see what's going on here. I already gave my Ethereum interpretation. Okay, LTC is challenging. It's really challenging. It's all challenging. It all is. But the first thing I see right here is this thing that all the charts are doing. Some kind of 5 wave diagonal or something. I don't know. It could be 3 waves, but it's a big I don't know right there. So I'm just going to leave it. I got a 3 wave here. That's no doubt about that. I've measured it. It's a nice 3 wave there. Then we've got this diagonal shape here as well. And we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a nice diagonal. So I see that. Then I've got a three-wave move here. It's kind of a flat, kind of. It's more of a WXY. Three-wave, three-wave, three-wave. So that looks, but it's a flat shape. But then, what is that? And then what is that? To me, it's just like this is a big one wave right here. It's like an impulse with a 2. And this is a 5 wave. So let's look at these waves because I see these as impulses. I looked at them before and they look very 3-wave-ish. But let me show you how they could be construed as an impulse. When you have an expanded or an extended, sometimes you get this. Let's see. An extended 5th wave. And the extended 5th wave, if you measure it like this, often looks like it's coming to the 1-to-1 extension or the 1276 extension of this wave. And generally, the one wave is often so small, basically it looks like this. You get an extended 5th wave, and it's at the 1-to-1. But if you look at it, it looks like a 3-wave move. So you got to understand that when you get an extended 5th, sometimes it looks like a 3-wave move. And that's what I think all these are. Right here, let me show you why. I'm trying to remember my analysis because I've broken down these waves before. Let's go to the not the 1-minute chart, not on Litecoin. I go to the 1-minute chart so you can see the minutia of the details. See, like right here, for instance, it looks like a 3-wave move. Okay, and it could be a 3-wave move. It could be. I'm acknowledging that, but I want to also acknowledge the potential that this could be a 1 and a 2 wave, and then this is 1, 2. There's 3, 4, 5. That's all 3. This is 4, and then we get an extended 5th wave. So that could be interpreted as 5 waves, a 5-wave impulse with an extended 5th. Okay. Now, I got lost in where I am in the count here. Let's look at this wave right here. It's the same kind of deal. See the one wave up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, extended 5th. Right there. So I'm seeing that as 5 waves, even though it looks kind of like 3 waves. And I'm readily admitting it could be 3 waves, but I'm also seeing it as a potential 5 waves. Then I'm seeing A, B, C right there. Now this one, let's look at this one. This one's tough. And the reason it's tough is because of this right here. It really kind of messes everything up. This could be an expanded diagonal 5th wave. I don't want to force fit anything, but excluding the wicks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. But that 4 overlaps the 1 there. I don't like it. So I don't like that as a 5 wave. Just trying to see it here. I like this as a 5 wave and just calling those wicks an anomaly. Having a hard time with Litecoin. I got this 5 wave deal here. That's a 3-wave. That's one A, B, C. That could be an ABC, ABC. So I don't know how to see that. Can a 5-wave? Can that be a 5-wave? I'm not trying to force fit it. I'm just asking. No, I don't. I don't think so. So I'm really having a hard time here. You got me. You got me. Zooming out here. Let's go out to the 1 hour. See if anything sees it shows up any better. Mm. What if that's what if that is a structure right here? A 3, 3, and that would be a 3 as well. Does this go together? So is this? I mean, are these a bunch of 1 2s as well? 1 2, 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. We going down? Is that a bunch of 1 2s? Inverted head and shoulders. No, I don't think I'm not seeing that. Not to be unkind or anything. I'm not trying to be or contrary, but I don't not seeing that guy. Okay, Rosie and Grace. See, I'll look at Neo as well. Please keep that on my chart, Delta Bro. Just remind me, okay? Hey, Delta Bro, do me a favor. Keep a list of all the ones we're looking at. ZEC, somebody asked about. Somebody asked for XRP, and somebody asked for Neo, and you asked for Neo. So make sure if you keep that list. Max, you think it's the bunch of 1 2s, man? Is that what you're thinking? That's really challenging. It's tough. But if it's a bunch of 1 2s, guys, like Bitcoin is, we're dumping. We are dumping. It's going to be big. It's going to be very big. How big? I don't know. I mean, I've already given you some ideas, but um, the best thing I can tell you to do with Litecoin is draw your trend line off this peak here to that peak there to that peak here. See how it's riding it? If it breaks that trend line, guys, it might consolidate for a minute, but it's going to do that. So if this comes down here and does that trick, it's coming down. Okay? Sell your kids, sell your wife, sell your Litecoin. Not financial advice. All right. Let me just show you its pattern. Litecoin does it very well. A lot of them do, but this one, Litecoin is very good at it. Okay. See that? Got a trend line. It dumps. Okay. It consolidates, creates another line. I mean, they all do it. But once it breaks, it breaks. It breaks that line. Okay. I've shown this many times. But Litecoin likes to make a nice straight line. It really does. And once it breaks that line, see, it'll consolidate on that line and even kind of go up a little bit, and then it comes on down. Not seeing any real pretty ones over here. Here's one. Not as pretty, but it's there. So anyway, draw that line. If you get a break of it, there's a good chance we're coming on down. Now, how deep we come, I don't know. I don't know. It just depends on what that structure is. But let me just say that that's nearly impossible to understand. My eyes are, whew. Um, so, Rosie asked a question, and Rosie and Grace asked a question. Why does it need to come down? Um, it needs to come down. When I say it needs to come down, it just means that the wave structure is pointing me down. Okay? Here's what I mean by the wave structure. If I'm getting an impulse wave to the downside, and then I start getting some kind of corrective wave, real chop, something to the upside. I've got this impulse, it's pointing me down, but I've got this corrective wave that's taken forever and chopping and going to the upside. It seems to be contradicting the impulse wave, right? And it does. And because these corrective waves chop and take forever and makes it seem like okay, and it gets you thinking that direction. But it's like, no, no, no. It needs to come down. It needs to break at some point because this is an impulse wave, corrective wave, impulse wave. Okay? So that's what I mean when I say it needs to come down. We got an impulse wave to the downside, getting some chop to the upside. I mean, it's really a three-wave pattern or something like that. And we're looking for that to finish, and sometimes it's hard to see it finish, but you're like, that's just, it needs to finish and come on down. That's what I mean. That's my language. That's what I'm using when I say that. Hope that clears everything up. And so the structure for me is it's coming on down. So look, I mean, for me, I've got this five-wave structure to the downside. I've got this five-wave structure to the downside. Everything's pointing down for the impulses. And everything else that's going up is three-wave corrections. Okay? Everything going up is three-wave corrections. Let me show you. Three-wave correction, three-wave correction, three-wave correction, three-wave correction. Okay, three-wave correction. So all the corrections are three waves going up. These can be interpreted possibly as five waves going down. I think it's going to come down. I mean, it needs to come down. So that's the way I'm interpreting that. Okay, so good chance Litecoin's taking a turn to the downside. Let's see if we get some follow through on that. Now you're counting on it. I love it. All right, let's. Are we ready? Let's ready to do the alts, guys. I spent a lot of time. It's been an hour and a half on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. I hope that's helpful to you guys. Hope you appreciate it, and I hope it's not. My desire is that you're not overwhelmed with all this. That it's actually helpful to you. I hope it is. All right, let's look at ZEC. What is ZEC? What does that stand for? I've never looked at this chart that I know of. Start on the weekly. Oh, there's no data on the weekly. Let's try the daily. There we go. Okay, Kraken is mess. I'm gonna try different exchange than Kraken. That's better. Oh, Zcash. Okay. It's dead. Zcash is dead. Lots of volatility, lots of trading. 2018, down, 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 down. It just doesn't have anywhere to go. It's at the floor. I mean, it's still making lower lows yet. It's still a lower low. A lower low. So a corrective wave to the upside. Got an impulse wave to the downside. Looks like it's about finished. Maybe. I mean, but where else is it going to go? To zero? I mean, it hasn't even hit the 1618. Uh, I mean, it needs to come on down and hit that 1618 to finish this out, in my opinion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Is that 4? And we're getting 5. We got more to go. I mean, it's going to hit $10. It's coming down. In my opinion, it's coming down. I mean, it's going to hit all-time lows. It already is at all-time lows. Well, not quite right now. It's up. But looks like it's coming down to me. This wave doesn't look finished. Doesn't look finished. The third wave isn't finished yet. We got more to go. More pain. More pain. Okay, Adam. I mean, do you want any more specific data on ZEC? Whoever was it? You, Adam? Yeah. Do you have a bunch of Zcash, Adam? I don't know anything about Zcash to be honest with you. In fact, I don't know much about any of these things. I just look at charts and see what they're telling me. Okay, we will look at. Okay, all good. All right, yeah, I think it's coming down, and it's got a lot more to go, which tells me Bitcoin probably has more to go down, and Litecoin and all of them have more to go down. All right, let's look at somebody else requested. What was the next one? I know Neo was one of them. Okay, cool. ZEC and then Neo, and I already did LTC. Okay, let's look at Neo. Bitfinex. Looks like the Neo looks a lot like the looks like the what do you call it? Looks like them all. So this wasn't corrective. This was more impulsive. But I don't like the wave delineation of it. Could be a correct. Actually, it could be corrective, guys. Actually. Yep. That's corrective, y'all. Wow. Okay. So here's why I don't think this is an impulse wave. I don't think this is an impulse wave. I mean, you want to say this, right? Don't you want to do this? Isn't that what you want to do? Well, the 4 comes below the 1. You say, okay, well, that's a diagonal, Jim. No, it's not shaped like a diagonal. Well, it's an expanding diagonal. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, see? There it is, expanding diagonal. Okay, maybe. But I don't know much about expanding diagonals. I'll need to research them. What I have read about expanding diagonals, there was this line in there that says some question their existence. So, because no one's ever seen one. So, anyway, all right. So let's see what else. But this wave right here looks more corrective to me. Let me show you why. When I put the fibs on this first wave, Okay, you can see that this doesn't make it to the 1618. All right, and the 4 overlaps the 1. Okay, so this is more like a three-wave structure to me. Boom, boom, boom. More like a three-wave. Then we got a three-wave down, and there's more like a three-wave to the upside. So it looks like a double zigzag to me, a WXY. That's what I'm thinking that is. So that's corrective. That means we have an impulse coming down. This should be an impulse, or it's part of a larger correction. So we're going to get like, we got a big three-wave here, and then we need a three-wave here, and then going three-wave up. So, but this wick is almost impossible to understand, and then this right here is seemingly impossible as well to understand. What do you do with that? Is that a 4-wave? 1, 2, all of that's 3. I'm excluding the wick, guys. I'm just pretending it's not even there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. This is 4. And then we're going to get a 5-wave to the downside. I mean, that's a way we could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a double bottom or a low, or just a lower low, maybe at $4 or something. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We do have this, very big, reversal. But here's my problem. I don't see this as an impulse, and I don't see this as a three-wave. That's impulsive to me. So this is corrective. That's impulsive. So for me, Neo looks like it's coming down more. Wow. I remember when I had Neo when it was like between 90 and 120 bucks. I was trading it when it was between 90 and $100. And now it's just nothing. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Wow. Hey guys, we're getting a move in BTC. Let's check it out. Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I love the YouTube personalities. I guess I'll become one time. Max has already done his impression of me. So I'm a airline captain, I've been told. I sound like an airline captain. All right, well, there you go. I'm an airline captain. 1, 2, we're getting a 3. Need a 4, 5. Looks like we might get an extended 5th here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my guess. That'll finish out this 5th wave, whatever this is. Which my guess could be that this is going to get a 3-wave and then we come down more. That could bring us our dump. Or that could bring us the end of our... See, it's just not going to make a lower low than that. Doesn't look like it's going to make a lower low. A lower low. As Hyjin Lee would say, lower low. A lower low. All right, I've done Neo. Oh, XRP, yes. Okay. XRP, thank you. Let's see. XRP swell is in 2 days. XRP will rule them all in 2020. 2020. XRP will die in 2020. I don't know. XRP is the crypto of the banks. I don't trust. Of course, I don't trust any of it right now. I'm not a believer yet. I'm agnostic when it comes to crypto. I just want to trade it. Okay. All right. What is this structure? That's really hard right there. Has not broken the high here. This could be a 1 and a 2 wave, or an A and a B wave. Mm. What is that structure? My thought at first was that it was impulsive. It was some kind of a diagonal structure, and then we came down, and we came down to a 618 retracement, and then we just popped right back up. So was that a 1-2? Maybe. The problem is how you break down that wave. Let's go to the 3 hour. So what is that right there? That wick. What is that? I'm just going to measure it and see what we get. A lot of times when I see a wave come up to the 786 like that, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I'm not sure what to make of that. Here's what I thought it was as it was being made. It was some kind of diagonal structure. Got a really nice channel right here. And it was some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we had a 3 wave to the downside. Okay. And now we're getting an impulse. And what is this? A correction? So is this 1, 2? So it's the same thing as Bitcoin. This looks more like a triangle, but it doesn't quite. Right here, the triangle breaks down. Triangle breaks down there. Unless it comes up here. It's got to come up here, though. So if it comes up here and then back down, maybe off to the races. I don't know. I'm yawning to death, guys. I'm about dying. 2 hours of this. 2 hours of it. And you guys are still watching. I'm just reading your debate. All right. I'm gonna you watch the Jim of All Trades channel to go to sleep? Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what to make of XRP. I'm sorry, I can't do any better for you. Um, I just know this: if Bitcoin tanks, XRP is going to tank. Um, we're hanging in the balance here, guys. We're hanging in the balance. Let's take a peek at Ethereum, seeing what she's doing here. Could get a 1, 2, 3. Don't like it. Don't like it a bit. Really hard to get a bead on this, guys. Hard to get a bead. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it, man. Hope you're not too mad. All right, guys. Um, I think we're gonna call it a night. I hope you've enjoyed the show. 32 of you left. Appreciate you hanging around. Share the channel, guys. Share the videos. Help me out. Appreciate it. Thank you for all of those the tips that I received tonight. What a fantastic gift. I really appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you, and then thank you, Merle. I really appreciate you as well. Just for giving me just those sacrifices. Ron, you have a great night. Brentley, blessings to you, sir. Dinosaur Muscle Cars. See you, man. Appreciate you, buddy. Everybody else, Joseph. Wow, thanks, Joseph. Appreciate it, buddy. And everybody else, I thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That's very kind. I'm everything y'all give, I'm saving. It's just going in a little savings account for just for trading. So it's going to allow me to do this full time. Really develop the channel and provide you guys with even better service than I'm providing. So hopefully your money's well spent as you share it. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that, guys. All right, I'm tired. It's been so we started at 8 o'clock, so hour and 45 minutes. Didn't do too bad tonight. You guys have a fantastic evening. I hope you do well with Bitcoin. Just watch out, watch out. Watch out for that triangle shape. Watch out for lower lows. Watch out for a big dump tonight. If we break that trend line, if we break 9,000, guys, that's scary to the downside. Okay, so be careful. All right, you guys have a fantastic evening. Talk to you later. Bye bye.